Is NAR coming around to a better way to do business?
I hope so.
Today, in case you don't know, I'm Alan.
And I'm Betsy.
And we are coming to you from Virginia Beach, Virginia. So, NAR just met. They had their annual, what they call NXT conference, NXT conference, and it's where all the officers, yes, they got a lot of them, hundreds and
overpaid people.
So anyway, well, we can talk about that too. I'll throw something in there. Remind me of that later on. So what they have done, they made some.
Look pretty. Remind.
She does look pretty, doesn't she? So keep her around. So
he likes to talk.
Yeah, I know. So one thing, most talkative in her high school class. This is the only time I get to take the lead, by the way, because normal day in, day out, I just sit there and listen.
We know on camera, though, he really likes to talk.
You know the team? The team's me and 9 women, 9 or 10, I don't even know. Yep. So you can imagine how much I get to talk. So here we are. So today we're going to talk about the NAR changes that they just voted on, and one that they voted on and didn't pass.
Let's vote on who likes to talk the most on camera.
Yes.
Alan or Betsy.
Here we go.
Vote
below. Like
vote
us, love us, and
vote
tell
for
us.
Who talks the most on camera.
I know
Alan.
I do.
We know it's Alan.
I do talk the most on camera. That's true. Because
Yep.
I don't get to talk any other time.
It's always Alan. Okay, so back to business.
As one of my friends said when he saw our recent team retreats, he saw the photo of me and all the women. He goes, "Man, you're just a overworked girl dad." I said, "Exactly right." I got all these.
He's a lucky man. Sorry.
Somebody did say that though in the restaurant.
Do a whole entire skit on
in
this.
the restaurant, they did say, those gentlemen came up to me and goes, "We have just been watching you." Because I was sitting over at the table.
They were like, "We just got to know." And I'm like, choose who the wife is, because
I said, "Can you pick which one's my wife?" I said, "Or is it more than one?" And so these gentlemen came up.
I don't know how you handle them all.
So it was a fun night in Williamsburg.
It was a fun night.
So anyway, back to the NAR decision. One of the things they voted on was across the country, 90+% of the U.S., if you are a real estate agent, have a real estate license, you pretty much had to join the realtor organization to have access to the multiple listing, which is key to you being able to do business. You had to have it. Now, we here in Virginia Beach are very fortunate because 40 plus years ago, our MLS became a third-party entity, not owned by the realtor organization. And so for years and years, 40 plus years, our MLS has been non-realtor owned, which means approximately 9,500 member users of the MLS, only approximately 3,500 are Realtor Association members. The other ones are licensees. And so you had a choice. And I think that's good. Choice is good. It's like in any other industry. If you are in a doctor, you have decisions. You can join the medical association. If you're a lawyer, you can join the bar. But there's other associations, and they're all voluntary. They're not mandatory. Well, they say it's voluntary in the realtor organization, but if you only can access the MLS by being a realtor member, is it really voluntary? No, because you have to have the MLS. And now the one thing I would like to see the realtor organization, we'll talk about that, but what NAR voted on was they said they are now going to leave it up to the local association to decide whether they will allow non-realtor members to have MLS access. And this is huge because previously NAR nationally said if the realtor organization owns the MLS, basically you have to be a realtor to be a member. Or you could be a non-member, but the fees were the exact same as joining the realtor organization. So you basically were forced to pay a penalty fine and no benefits because you didn't want to be a realtor. Now, here's the thing. Being a realtor for us was never about the money. It's never been about the money. It was about their policies and their their focus and their politics and their code of ethics. We'll talk about that. The different things that they had, it was always that decision. We were fortunate to be in our market to be able to make that decision. Now, NAR finally coming around. And why did they do this? They said that the concerns, because they are leaning into the moment, because MLSs have an opportunity to lead while raising the bar for the industry as a whole. However, they are doing it for fear of future litigation and risk management. So they are anticipating, they don't want another $400 million lawsuit claim that they had to pay, or all these things, because of being a monopoly or a tying arrangement or anything else. So they basically said, we can foresee this could be legal litigation based on what the Justice Department is telling us. So we're going to make a decision. And they voted, and thankfully that has changed. Now, they had a couple of other decisions that they made when they voted on. I'm looking at my notes here. And this involves one that they voted against. Now, they have what's called the Code of Ethics at NAR and the Realtor Association. And they have duties to the public and the consumer, and then they have duties to other real estate professionals. Now, duties to the public and consumer, when they made the Code of Ethics, NAR started like 1908 or sometime, I can't remember the exact date, but been a while, over 100 years. And so when they started and they came about with the Code of Ethics, that was because real estate was really the wild, wild west. It was unregulated in states. You could get licenses and sell it. Some places like this still in Europe and things. And so it was unregulated. So what happened was they came up with the Code of Ethics. Well, since that time, pretty much the duties to the consumer and the public have basically been brought into state laws. So the Code of Ethics, as it applies to duties to consumers and the public, have pretty much been wiped out because state laws cover most of those things as far as how they handle trust funds and fair housing and truth in advertising. State laws now cover those when it comes to it. So what you really come down to are the duties to each other and other agents, which is the other part of the Code of Ethics. The Code of Ethics, in my mind, does a couple of things. It restricts, at the time, it was restricting what I felt was a First Amendment right to freedom of speech, which, by the way, they've now rescinded that and changed that one.
Yay.
Yay. And the other thing is, most people don't know this, but when an agent gets brought up before the Code of Ethics by another agent, now, I agree until a decision is made, keeping it confidential.
Yep.
Because you shouldn't have public opinion fall into play.
Not to mention that could be wrong. I mean, you could be falsely accusing somebody.
Exactly. And we've seen that happen.
Yes.
And so we had a situation. We actually filed a claim against an agent who fabricated a claim back against me because I filed her. Once she got served notice that she then filed one against me. So we go to the state hearing. Had to go to the state level, not the local level, because I had served
You were on the board.
I was on the board locally, so had to go to the state level. So it went to the state level. And when we got up there, we had the charges against her presented that were there. Then her and her side presented the charges that they had counterfiled against me. And the result was all the charges against me were dropped and found false. And she was found guilty of the charges against her that we had filed. However, what happens at that point in time is they get sealed. We can't tell you who it was, what the charges were, anything about it, even if we are out here, and it would protect the consumer, because in that situation, what she was found guilty of was damaging to consumers. And in our mind, she shouldn't even have a license. But guess what? We can't go disclose any of that situation because the Realtor Code of Ethics rules tell you that it's sealed. So in my mind, the Realtor Code of Ethics that protect duties to each other is really a cover-up for a way for them to protect their own and not get dirty laundry aired to the consumer.
Right, and just get money.
And just keep collecting fees and keep collecting membership. So that is, in our opinion, well, in mine, I think it's yours too.
It's very much so mine.
So guess what? So going down this road, NAR, they had one thing, and what we really believe is transparency in a transaction. Well, one of the things that went up for vote at the meeting recently was, should they have to disclose referral fees? Now, keep in mind, some of the top teams and top companies in the country pay a lot of referral fees to Realtor.com and Zillow, primarily. Those are the top two. Should they have to disclose that to the consumer? We don't have a problem with it. We think the consumer should know where the money goes. It's okay with us. But the Realtor Association voted against that at the NAR meeting so that those fees don't have to be disclosed. Really strange that they would do that unless there was some kind of undue influence by one of the large 800-pound gorillas that didn't want that to post. I don't know, them or Zillow. Why would they not want the consumer to know who's getting paid in a transaction? That one just kind of baffles me.
Me too.
So,
I didn't know that one yet.
Yep, that was the second one that came out. So when you're looking at it, what it ultimately comes down to is real estate is local. And we are very fortunate.
These guys are so overpaid anyway. It's just absolutely
well,
awesome.
Here's the other thing. I'm glad you brought that back up. This is something, the Realtor organization, they've been collecting $45 per year for a national ad campaign and stockpiling this, and it goes into an ad campaign. It's supposed to be to promote the realtor image and realtors nationwide. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you that I believe. As a consumer, I really don't think you know the difference between a realtor and a licensee. And the reason is, as a consumer, it doesn't really matter, to tell you the truth, at all. In fact, it has nothing to do with code of ethics. If somebody is ethical, they're ethical, whether there's a piece of paper or not. If they're not, they're not, whether there's a piece of paper or not.
That's DPOR. I mean, like,
right.
Otherwise.
Licensing.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
You have to follow all the true ethical.
Right. So they've been collecting, they added on to dues a few years ago, they added this national ad campaign. Well, we all know they just got hit with a $418 million lawsuit that they had to pay out. They had to pay the first payment like $170-some million already, and the second payment's coming due in February. So here they voted not to increase dues.
They said they would not.
But they voted, they're not increasing dues. And what they're doing, though, is they're taking $35 from the ad campaign that they collected from everybody as the ad campaign and moving it over to pay suits. Now, if that's not bait and switch, you collected my money saying you're going to use it to promote the realtor brand and image, and you're going to lose it. So they're moving the money. They voted to move that money. So basically, you collected it from me as extra money for a national ad campaign, and now you're going to use it to pay a lawsuit.
That's insane.
And they said they were cutting their budget next year by $61 million, which is crazy. But anybody else, any other business.
Are they cutting the big man who makes?
Well, over $1 million, I don't know. But here's the thing.
Has like 4 dog sitters?
He's gone.
7 country clubs?
He's gone.
Oh, okay.
So the thing is that they should have been cutting to meet their budget even more, because how do you feel about an organization that takes money that said, hey, give me this money, I'm going to run this national ad campaign to improve your image, run these commercials and do this and this. Oh, we're going to take all this money and just pay the lawsuit where we screwed up instead. So that, in my mind, is classic bait and switch, and why, personally, I still don't. I'm happy they've changed the code of ethics. They got rid of were my First Amendment concerns. They've changed the rule allowing the MLSs to be a member without. I like some of the changes. But when I saw that, I thought, why would I ever want to give you a dime if you're just going to take it and use it however you want, not how you told me? So this is Alan.
And Betsy.
And yes, I talk a lot, but it's my opportunity when I get over here to talk. So
don't forget to subscribe and like us and love us.
Talk to you soon.